Hello. Today we're going to be talking about Nmap, network mapping tool, and in front of us we have Nmap, which is the front-end GUI. So what exactly is Nmap? Nmap is a port scanner for your network, as opposed to a packet sniffer. Now, what exactly is the difference between the two? Well, a port scanner goes out and actively scans your network for IP addresses, open ports, network topology, and a packet sniffer like Wireshark captures network traffic and analyzes it. Some people confuse the two, so first to be clear, we're using Nmap today to go out and actively scan a network, pinging, looking for open ports, as opposed to a passive scan like Wireshark. Okay, so with that in mind, what exactly is Nmap? Nmap is a freeware tool you can download from the internet, from the .org site, and it's pretty user-friendly. It's freeware as opposed to more expensive tools such as SolarWinds enterprise tools. You use it for scanning your network for topology, open ports for security, device names, IP addresses, and the like. So basically, you do an active scan of your network, and depending on the size of your network, you can know computer names, MAC addresses, open ports, or other inventory items. So let's start here with, we have ports, topology, host details, and scans. For today's purpose, we're going to do a simple scan of a home network. For an enterprise network, it would take quite a bit of time to explain the various layers, but for more advanced users, if you become comfortable with this tool, it definitely can do larger scale networks. So for today though, we have Nmap loaded for we're on a laptop, and we're talking to a simple home router, home network like most people have. Let's start with our finding our IP address. So how do I get Nmap to talk to my local router or my device? Let's start with the command prompt to do my local config and find out my IP address, who I am, and then my target destination I need to talk to start scanning my router, my default gateway. So I type in IP config, and let's figure out who we are. Well, we're using IP4, and this is my hard-coded address I was using for a test earlier. I had a wireless and I had a hard adapter, so let's go to our wireless one, and we are 192.168.2.17, that's us, and our default gateway is 192.168.2.1. So this is us, and this is our default gateway, our target, which is our router, and that's who we want to talk to begin our scan. So we type in that here. Here's our target. And over here we have our different scan tabs. Now we have intent scan, all TCP ports, quick scan, and slow comprehensive scan. We'll be doing two scans today, the intent scan first and the slow comprehensive. Now what do these other scans do? Depending if you want to do a quick scan, if you want to just do quick IP addresses, a quick sweep of your network, a trace route of a target, or more in depth with all TCP ports for vulnerability, depending on your needs. So let's start with the intent scan. Alright, we click, see what happens. Oh, it goes to work already. Okay, discovering open ports. Oh, it found my router. I have a Belkin router, which is true. That's my default gateway, the current address. And what else is going to do? What is Nmap going to find? OS detector, and that's the operating system. It's trying to find out the operating system of my Belkin router. And let's see if it does it. RPing, address resolution protocol. Oh, wow, here we go. I was getting impatient. So it tells us for the beginner quite a bit of information to break down to sift through. So without getting too complicated, it gave me the MAC address, the hard-coded address of my Belkin router. That's good to know because that never changes opposed to your IP address. So it's good to know your hardware device. Its operating system, Linux, as opposed to Windows or another operating system. Hop, network distance, only one hop away. That means there's no other devices between myself, my laptop, and my destination router. And very important to know is your NetBIOS name. The name of the router is router. Now this is very good to know for home networks if you're doing home security or just want to know your local network. Many people never change their default devices, and that can be bad for security. Like here, workgroup, I'm bad. I left my workgroup name as workgroup. I should change that. A hacker would probably try the default names that most people like me leave who are being lazy. What else we have? Router name. Yes, how creative. My router name is named router. I should probably change that too. So we'll leave that for now. So yeah, your basic ideas such as workgroup, computer name, MAC address, and target IP address. For your home user, that's good to know. It's a good start. Hop, how far away, there's nothing in between. So maybe you had a more complicated network. Maybe you had a switch, a little small Linksys or Cisco switch involved. It would tell you, I have a Cisco switch, and there's some other laptops, such as maybe your other family members' routers or home laptops off that device. For topology, yes, this is very tiny, but it tells me I have a Belkin router indeed. So if I had other devices like another switch, it would give me a graphical topology. Host details, Linux, you can tell by the nice cute penguins. And there's our MAC address. So let's try one more scan here today. Let's try the slow comprehensive scan. I'll try not to get impatient. Oh wow, it gives me Nmap. Stealth, T4. Now these are a lot of different scripts or defaults. It'll tell you different powerful tools like if you want to do stealth scan, if you want to go more in depth, or packets or port scanning, or all your TCP ports. So let's start. And for the home user, a lot of this will probably not make sense. But let's give it a try and just see if we can make sense of anything. Now what's doing that? I'm getting impatient. Oh, let's see, we have TCP ports. Port 80, you know what that is? HTTP, yes, our web browser traffic. That's to be expected. Some of these ports are not to get too alarmed about, as they're very common. Like network, we all need to talk through port 80 or we can't talk to the internet. Some of these other ports, I'd honestly have to look into a book or manual to tell me what exactly they are. Normally, ports are very generic for handshaking sequences, talking to your local printer port, or other such simple devices for normal day traffic. If I had 30 or 40 open TCP ports, I'd be concerned because I would not know what they are. Okay. So here we are again. Did find our Belkin router. Does it find anything new or impressive? Couldn't get in 224. I think we're looking for multicast address. Just trying to see out. Sometimes our public networks or network for service providers use multicast address. Discover open port. Okay. Anything new or special about our intense scan? We'll give it one more minute before we call it quits. UDP, user datagram packets. Those are, TCP is a connection oriented, and user datagram packets are connectionless. A lot of mail protocols use UDP connectionless to get route through our network. As you can see, our previous scan, unsaved Nmap, our intense scan did not go so in depth. So for now, I think we're going to call it, this is our basic introduction to Nmap. As you go through, a key component of this is the different values you can add depending on what you want to scan. And again, you can tailor it to how you like for security or for TCP ports. Okay, that's all for today. We don't want to bore you any further. If we would probably wait quite some more time, it'd probably come up with further details. But yes, Nmap, again, to summarize, is a very powerful tool for freeware. It will tell your topology, IP addresses, importantly, computer names, MAC addresses, open ports for security. So, thank you for watching, and that's our Nmap introduction.